Serengeti Eyewear Trans Am Championship today. Good to have you with us. Rick Benjamin, David Hobbs, Derek Daly. Field behind the pace car looking for a green. Nice day here. It has cleared off. Very cool for this time of the year in August. 68 degrees. Light winds about 10 miles an hour. And we've got partly cloudy skies. And David, the heat not a factor today, so everyone going on those hard tires. What will that mean to these drivers?
Well, it's still a pretty high-speed circuit, this, so they're going to generate a lot of their own heat, although there's not much atmospheric heat to help them this afternoon. There we see Dorsey Schrader starting on the front row. That's going to be a really good place for Dorsey to start today's race.
He's got the point lead at this moment. Scott Sharp looking for his first win of the year. A little bit further back in the field. We take a look behind the 33 car, then up on the roof. And he's a driver who is very, very hungry for a victory as the field comes to turn 10. We ought to be seeing a green here momentarily. Great to have you with us today. Sam Posey couldn't be with us this weekend. We'll welcome him back shortly to our coverage of the Trans Am Series. Pace car is in. Glad to have you with us. And here we go. Dorsey Schrader brings him to the line. Gets the drop on Gentilozzi as they funnel toward turn 1.
Turn 1, a very, very sharp right-hander here. There's going to be a lot of sorting out position here. Dorsey Schrader just hold on to the lead from Gentilozzi. Went right down the inside there. Gentilozzi nearly snagged that position. There you see Tommy Kendall, the fastest qualifier, pulling in front now of Scott Sharp.
Sharp starting in the 6th spot today. Schrader is your leader in the blue and white car. Gentilozzi is second. Right behind him, Boris Said moving up into 3rd spot. Field funneling up the hill and toward the S's on lap number 1 as we ride along with Sharp.
This, of course, is the fastest part of this racetrack, up to about 155 miles an hour as they come into the loop. It's a right, left, long left, then another right exit out of it. Obviously, this last corner they're going into now, that used to be the corner at the end of that straight, but it got a bit too fast for modern-day racing, and that's where, of course, Tommy Kendall had a huge crash a few years ago, but they all file through the loop. No accidents. Dorsey Schrader putting a lot of daylight between himself now and Paul Gentilozzi in the Chevrolet.
Boris Said got a good start. He was starting 4th today. Got the drop on Ronnie Fellows, the 2-time defending winner of this race at Watkins Glen. So Said now up to 3rd, kicking Fellows back to 4th as they hit the turn 8-9 section of the racetrack. Good battle up onto the main straightaway. Everyone behind Schrader.
Boris Said, with his new sponsorship, of course, was very quick in practice and in qualifying. And trying to get around Paul Gentilozzi now, and Ron Fellows right behind them there in that beautiful Sunoco car. There's Tommy Kendall in the 11 car, back in 5th, the green and black car. Tom on the board now with Scott Sharp. The S's here, boy, these are blindingly fast corners. This rising left-hand sweeper here, cars up to almost full speed as they finally exit this right-hand sweeper out onto the straight. As you can see, just a slightly uphill straight, but still very, very fast because of such a fast entry speed.
Good battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Gentilozzi in the red and black car, the Highwaymaster 5. He is 2nd. Said is 3rd in the white Mustang there. Fellows 4th in the 3. Right behind him, Kendall is 5th in the 11. Kendall 3 times a winner this year. 2nd in the series points, trying to get up and give Schrader a run for it in the late stages of the season.
And of course, one of the guys who's got around, Ron Fellows, a 2-time winner this year. And Ron hasn't had the year. Oh, up to the S's now. Kendall going down the inside of Fellows. No, can't quite do it. And there, Boris Said sneaks by Gentilozzi. Gentilozzi loses momentum, and Ron Fellows sneaks by as well. Kendall trying to get in there as well.
Couple of moves around Gentilozzi, so Gentilozzi back to 4th as they come to the main straightaway under the Winston Cup Bridge and up onto the main chute. Schrader with about a 12-car length lead down into turn 1 now, but Boris Said with a good move up to 2nd spot.
Tommy Kendall going down the inside of Gentilozzi. Can he put... Oh, no. And that, of course, slowed Kendall up, so that's given Scott Sharp here in the car that we're on board now a chance to come to grips with Tommy Kendall. So Tommy Kendall getting left out in the cold here. Dorsey Schrader, meanwhile, enjoying all this battling for position behind him because he's got a clear track in front of him and he's not having to hold anybody off, so he's moving out.
Fellows, meantime, getting right up on the back deck lid of Boris Said's Mustang. Looks like Fellows could be mounting a challenge for 2nd here as they come to the inner loop. Schrader still your leader.
Whoa, Ron Fellows, boy, oh boy, what a great slide there. But the danger of that, of course, is that's how you make your tires go away. Although with the hard compound Goodyears, they should be okay, but they won't take too much that sort of abuse.
He lost a lot of distance on Boris Said there as they come out of turn 5 and start down the short straightaway. Gentilozzi back a little further now in 4th spot. Scott Sharp still 6th. We go topside with the 33 car trying to catch up to Kendall.
Now Kendall is going to have to really work out here, use his gray matter here to try and get around Paul Gentilozzi. Paul Gentilozzi in the Camaro there, very quick. He gets right underneath him coming out of that turn 10, but the Camaro is a bit quicker down this front straightaway, so he's lost some of that momentum. And look at Scott Sharp right down the inside now of Tommy Kendall.
Good battling up through there. Gentilozzi trying to get back and around Fellows, and he does. So Gentilozzi reclaims one spot. Here's Sharp going by Fellows as well. So Ron Fellows off speed apparently there.
Oh no, Ron Fellows has got a problem again. His star-crossed year strikes by the look of things. I don't think he just missed a shift. It looks like he's running way off the pace.
Sure does. We take a look out the backside of Scott Sharp's automobile now. Sharp and Kendall now up to 5th and 6th. As we take a look back to see where Fellows is, he's dropped back dramatically now up through the inner loop. We're coming toward turn 5 as we ride with Sharp.
So Tommy Kendall, who was working so assiduously there on Paul Gentilozzi, while he was doing that, lost some control and let Scott Sharp get through. Let's go down to the pits and Derek Daly. Derek.
Indeed, here with Dan Biggs, team manager for Boris, said, is this a Ford racetrack? We see 2 of them running away at the moment.
Well, it is a Ford racetrack, but the Fords are doing good right now. We'll just see how it unfolds.
The fact that Boris had to miss a race, does that give him a bit of an inconsistency in his season?
Well, I don't think it does that. I think, you know, we had a little trouble finding a sponsor. We got a sponsor now, so we're going to finish the rest of the year with Boris. We're just looking to do the rest of the races.
And of course, with Lions Pride, they hope everybody in the pit lane will be very well dressed.
Tommy Kendall is very well dressed too, as Ron Fellows motor problems again. We'll find out what's going on pit road. The 3 car with trouble early here at Watkins Glen. 2-time defending winner of this race. Looks as though Ron Fellows' afternoon may come to an early end here at Watkins Glen International today. We'll come back in just a moment, find out what's wrong with the Fellows automobile. You can see Ron dropping the window net, putting the visor up. Tough break indeed for the defending winner here. Back with more. Derek Daly. Sam Posey couldn't be with us today, but he's here in spirit, I'm sure. Scott Sharp up the backstretch in the Rain-X car. There are your 2 leaders. Dorsey Schrader into the inner loop with Boris Said right behind him. Gentilozzi has come back nicely to 3rd. Kendall is 4th. Sharp is 5th. Jamie Gallus is 6th. And Ron Fellows apparently out of the hunt here this afternoon. We'll find out more about his situation in just a moment from Derek Daly. Meantime, we ride with Sharp around turn 5, one of the faster parts of this racetrack at Watkins Glen.
Well, Scott Sharp had got around Tommy Kendall while Tommy Kendall was trying to get around Paul Gentilozzi, and Kendall will be pretty keen. Whoa, there's Ron Fellows not looking happy at all, throwing down the glove. I can understand his frustrations. It's been an incredibly frustrating year, and it's hard to explain to anybody just how a driver feels, because you put so much effort into these things, and if the car lets you down, it's not like a high jumper or an athlete or a golfer. I mean, if you miss the hole in golf, it's you can't blame anybody else. If the car quits, it's just tough to take sometimes.
2 leaders, Schrader still in front in the 12th car, the Ray Bestis Mustang, over Said in the 14, up through the S's and coming up the hill, catching the back markers already.
Now we're into a lot of traffic, and here we are only on about lap 6, and already we're in traffic as we look once again at Ron Fellows.
Derek Daly on pit road.
Ron, I know it's a difficult time. The season started so well, but this is hard to take, isn't it?
Well, it just hasn't stopped, Derek. I thought, the last couple of races we had a real good package, and we lost another motor. I don't know what to say other than I'm real disappointed for the guys, and I know the guys at K-Tech are hurting, but hey, this has gotten to be way too much of a bad habit, I'm afraid, and I don't know. It's frustrating as hell.
I think, fellas, you can hear from his voice that how frustrating it is that he had so many mechanical problems.
Sure did, and one driver with a problem, Charlie Webster in the 95 car, is off the course. Up on the lawn safely, the car smoking. We can see the window net up. That's the universal signal that he's fine. Steering wheel pops off. Webster from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. The C.J. Webster of Canada Chevrolet. So his race is over early here at Watkins Glen. No full course caution, at least at this point, as the leaders head down toward turn 1. There is some debris on the course, though, as we see one of the Highwaymaster cars go by. So we'll find out what that will mean in terms of yellow flags. Dorsey Schrader working his way up on the backside of one of the Oldsmobiles in the field. Dorsey with Boris Said right behind him. Gentilozzi, Kendall, and Sharp. Your top 5. We take you inside the 12 car of Dorsey Schrader, the series point leader coming in here today. Got a 9-point advantage over Kendall. He's also in position to perhaps claim that Harrah's $50,000 bonus as we look ahead to the Reno season finale in September, which you'll see live here on TNN Motorsports. Webster over the wall and safely out of the way. Caution in that part of the speedway. Everyone on the brakes through that area where the 95 car came to rest as Scott Sharp takes us for a ride here at Watkins Glen International. Again, up the back straightaway, your leader there, Schrader in the blue car. Right behind him, Boris Said in the Lions Pride Mustang, the 14 car. Lap traffic to the inside. Dorsey's got the visor up, so
I think we're going to have a full course caution now at this stage. There's that debris down there at turn 10. And I saw some other debris there. So Dorsey Schrader won't be too happy with that because he made such a great break. And there's Oh, there's another car.
That's one of the Phelan cars into the wall.
Yes, it is indeed.
Can't tell if that's John Fergus or Dale Phelan, the 66 or 67 car, but someone has pounded the wall hard here at Watkins Glen today. Sir Fergus was up in the 9th spot. He had qualified in the top 10, former IMSA GTU champion. But one of those 2 team cars coming to grief, we see Fergus by. That is Dale Phelan, who was in the wall. We'll tell you more from Watkins Glen after this. Back with you at Watkins Glen International. Rick Benjamin, David Hobbs, Derek Daly, Dorsey Schrader, the leader after 11 laps. We're under caution, though, for an unusual incident that happened coming out of turn 5 and coming toward the very hard right-hand corner that sets up turn 9 and 10 as we ride with Dorsey Schrader, who will be the restart leader, also the series point leader. Here's what happened. Dale Phelan came to a hard stop on the speedway. A lot of body work gone. Derek Daly talked to him a moment ago.
Are you okay yourself, Dale? Is the car okay?
I'm mad enough to overcome anything right now. No, I'm fine. It was really, for me, it was a minor hap, but the car looks worse than I do.
Which is a shame, fellas, because this is one of the finest looking teams on the circuit here in Trans Am.
Now a 2-car team. John Fergus, the former IMSA champion, teaming with Dale Phelan. Now we understand Fergus is going to run for Rookie of the Year next year. And this happened just a few moments before. Charlie Webster in the 95 car whacked the wall a ton in almost the same spot. Shedded a lot of body work, moved a couple of the wheels around. He's okay, but Webster out of the competition this afternoon as well. About set to go green once again here at Watkins Glen. The field gathered up behind the pace car as we check things out from Scott Sharp's vantage point. Schrader will be the restart leader. Right behind him will be Boris Said. Car owner who is responsible for the lead car is with Derek Daly.
Indeed he is, and he's just about to get on the radio too, his Ray Bestos driver. Is this a concern, this yet, or is it just a distraction?
No, it's just a distraction. Dorsey says he's got the best car he's had in the last couple of races, so we're looking forward to the rest of this race, Derek.
That's a nice smile on Tom Gloy's face, but here's something else, fellas. I just spoke to Dan Binks, team manager for Boris Said. Boris just came on the radio and said to him, I'm going to the front.
Plenty of confidence for Boris Said with 30 laps to go when we put the green out here.
Dorsey Schrader trying to put some heat in the tires, all of them trying to do that. And of course, as I've said before many times on these shows, the worst thing about these caution periods is you slow down, the tires are hot and sticky, they pick up dust and rubber that's lying around. The first laps under green again after these extended cautions are always pretty exciting for the driver, because those cars don't handle too good at all for the first few corners.
Green flag back out here at Watkins Glen. 13th lap on the board. Dorsey Schrader, the blue and white Ray Bestos Ford from McGloy Racing, Shopster leader. There's Said in second. Genlozzi third. Kendall is fourth. Some moves a little further back in the field. R.J. Valentine trying to make a move and come up through the pack. John Fergus and John Gooding back dueling for 8th and 9th spot. Here's Schrader up the hill through the S's.
This is where the cars in the field. Just a little bit skittish on this opening lap. On board now with Scott Sharp. There up the road in front of him is Tommy Kendall in the 11 car. Scott Sharp reaching maximum speed here at 155 miles an hour in these Trans Am cars, and hard on the brakes for the new loop. Whoa, and there's Dorsey Schrader sliding in through the loop there. Getting some heat in that right rear. You've got to be a bit careful you don't get too much heat, of course, in any of the tires, because they didn't go off. There's Saunders now holding up John Fergus by the look of things. Saunders looked like one of them was smoking a bit.
A lot of tire smoke certainly as they come through the inner loop. As we look back at Boris Said, you're on board with Dorsey Schrader. Said in second in the 14 car. You heard Derek Daly report a moment ago. Said tells his team he's headed to the front. We'll see if he can gather up Schrader here as we come toward turn 10. They'll be on the main straightaway at Watkins Glen in just a moment. Not quite to halfway this afternoon. Here's Said looking to the inside as they head toward turn 1.
Both of them pulling away yet again from Paul Gentilozzi in the number 5 Camaro. There's no doubt about it. I don't think if Tom Kendall could get around Gentilozzi, he would be able to pull away. But of course, getting around somebody and getting up to them are two different things entirely. As we look at the two leaders again, swooping through those very, very daunting S curves here, extremely high speed over the main traffic tunnel.